In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to use Desmos effectively and appropriately. So the first tab that you're looking at is going to be the official Desmos that will be provided in your uh, Bluebook testing device. So you have to get adapted to it, okay? Since it's exactly how it will be on the SAT test and even AP tests. So first of all, there's absolutely no difference apart from the fact that you're not able to save functions because when you click on this button which says add item, you're not able to add pre-recorded functions that you had before in your own Google account. However, I would argue that this change is absolutely negligible since no one actually saves functions, and technically it's going to be identical, nothing changes. Let's go to the hotkeys. Now with the hotkeys, you're supposed to memorize them, preferably use them on a daily basis, in order to make your experience with Desmos instantaneous, just like I do, right? So to access those hotkeys, which I'll be sharing soon, you should click on the control. Holding the control, click on the slash, right? This way you will have the ability to look at all the shortcuts. If you have Windows or if you are rich, you can use the Mac shortcuts, right? Okay, so this way, these are the most popular ones, just like function, it's going to be in the power of B, which is holding shift, right? Click on the 6. Or at the same time, if you want to have a base, click while holding shift, click on the minus, and etc., etc., etc. These are the written ones. For the fraction, you're supposed to write A, fraction B. Or if you have the slash, right, you can just click on the slash. With the square root, just write SQRT. With the answer, just write NTHROOT, and etc., etc. Okay? This way, you're able to make your life much more effective, and the experience with Desmos will be much more pleasant, right? For example, you can write 2 in the power of 3 minus 5 in the power of 6. However, some people might be arguing, okay, so what if I need to find, let's say, 5 in the power of 3 minus x, and 3 minus x should be in the power. You can do this by just clicking on 2, doing the power shortcut, and then holding the shift, click on 9 and 0 to create the brackets. And inside those brackets, you can already write x minus 3. This way, you're able to write down whatever you want right there. Okay, let's move to different one, which is going to be the circle radius. So this question was given to us a little bit, quite a while ago, right? And this way that I'm going to show you right now is going to be the best way to solve this problem, or at least I think so, since it involves a couple of shortcuts again here, right? It's a couple of functions for us to use. So imagine that you're given 2 points, A and B. These are the respective coordinates, and you have to find what is the radius of a circle, just find the function of a circle. Okay, so to find that, actually you're supposed to first of all identify its radius, right? Since the formula um for for the circle was x minus h in the power of 2 plus y minus k in the power of 2, which looks something like this. Yeah, there is a spoiler for this, and this would be equal to r in the power of 2. So we would actually find out the middle point. Now, you can find the middle point by first of all using logic, since if a and b are two edges of a circle, it means that the central point is going to be the radius. Right in between them, you're going to have the center, and the distance between that center to A is going to be the radius. So to find that, just find the midpoint, meaning that right in the middle. What do you have in the middle? So the coordinate of the middle basically point is going to be 4 and 6. And at the same time, you know that this if the distance between A and B is diameter and the half of diameter is radius, you can use this function. Distance between these 2 points divided by 2 will give you the radius. And I plugged it in everything right here. Let me click. Yeah, here it is. And then you have the function of a circle itself. Here it is. As you can see, it's perfectly fine. I really encourage you to use Desmos in such instances since it's going to be very, very useful, especially under the time pressure. Now, as you can see, I know what the midpoint or the distance is. Now, I know it because I browsed through the several shortcuts, several functions here. You should click on the function, and then you are able to look at every single function that they provide. So, trig functions, inverse functions, and these are very, very popular too, actually, like mean, median, max, quartile. If you go a little bit low, you have it right here, geometry, polygon, distance, midpoint. I have never used polygon so far, but it's probably going to be useful too. And yep, you have the nth root and etc. All the functions. I really encourage you to go through and take a look at that. Let's move on with the regression magic. So with the regression magic is that you're given this points and you're supposed to find basically what what is the value of f of x when x is equal to, let's say, 15, right? Well, as you can see, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what kind of function it is. However, I can basically use the table. I just click on this, add an item, click on a table, right, and then plug in all the values. I know the values for the first three, and I'm clicking and I'm putting all those values, and I should click on this button then, regression line. This way, I'm able to create a line of best fit, meaning that this line is going to be very, very close to most of the points. Well, you can have a regression line of the linear regression, quadratic. Well, it actually very good. It looks very good for the quadratic function too, right? Um, you can go to the exponential function, which I actually initially thought it's going to be an exponential function, right? So it will be given to you. So whether that's an exponential function or no, that's okay. So what to do next? You can actually do a couple of things. You can first of all plug in this equation, go up, 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 and then take a look at what value it's going to be, 98, 304, right? Well, it looked very daunting, right? Going up, up, and up. To make your experience better, click on the shift or holding the shift, right? Drag the axis. You can either make it bigger, like this, or you can make it smaller, like this, like this. This way, you can easily make the function more comfortable for you. Depends on the function. It works very well with the exponential functions, since exponential functions are extremely big and very, very huge. So here it is, the point of intersection. Another way would be actually plotting it, right? Then clicking on this point, on this button. And then you're supposed to go and click on the create a table, right? You can also create a table right here. This way, you'll have already predetermined table, and you are able to plug in the values for your table. I'm supposed to 5 minutes 15, so here it is, 15. Well, it may look very well unnecessary to do all of this. However, for the future videos, for the future questions where you are not given the values, where you don't even have those values like 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 24. In those questions, you'll be given in terms of variables like A, B, C, D, right? And their direct basically quantitative method will not be the most effective approach. The tabular approach would be much better, which we will show in the future. So to sum up, I would say that you're supposed to use this version of Desmos just to get used to it. I have to warn you that it has almost all the features. Then you're supposed to click on this button, hide. So to make the keyboard appear, click on the functions and go through and look at couple or like the most useful functions. I would also encourage you to use regression line more, use table, right, to make your experience more effective. And again, I have to warn you that The SAT math is about accuracy and it's about speed, but it's more about speed. So because of that, you should also learn how to use hotkeys. Now, hotkeys are obtained by clicking on the control and slash. Go and analyze it. I will share the most. I will share the references for the video, and I will also share the link to the real SAT, Desmos, and I will also share the most useful hotkeys. Have a nice time.